gave her his jacket. At the top of the mountain, the team took a group photo. Suddenly, some tourists recognized Baek Sa-yeon and asked for photos with him. Hee-ju was pushed to the edge of the railing. With a scream, she fell off the cliff. Baek Sa-yeon was extremely anxious. Night fell, and Hee-ju woke up from a coma. She remembered someone had pushed her. She was scared and wanted to call for help, but her phone was broken. Luckily, the thug's phone still worked. However, the phone was modified and couldn't call the 911 or emergency services, only Baek Sa-yeon. Baek Sa-yeon got the thug's call and shouted, "Hee-ju!" Then he quickly pretended to ask the thug how Hee-ju was. Hee-ju told him to come and take his wife's body. Baek Sa-yeon deliberately mentioned there was a flare in Hee-ju's bag. Following his instructions, Hee-ju gave her location. After seeing the fireworks, Baek Sa-yeon encouraged Hee-ju and quickly ran to her. When Hee-ju was close to death, she thought of Baek Sa-yeon. Since she was little, when everyone ignored her, Baek Sa-yeon came to her. When she was scared, Baek Sa-yeon protected her. Even now, without her saying anything, he still stayed with her. She regretted not being brave enough to tell him she loved him. So when she opened her eyes, she begged him not to leave. It was the first time Hee-ju needed Baek Sa-yeon and the first time he heard her speak. His feelings were very mixed. Hee-ju slowly woke up and realized her secret couldn't stay hidden anymore. But Baek Sa-yeon didn't confront her, making her imagine he might ask for a divorce, and she felt, begging for forgiveness. When they met again, she didn't even have the courage to speak. Seeing her silent, Baek Sa-yeon reassured her. He said he already knew she could talk, but he didn't expose her pretending to be the thug. Instead, he made excuses to cover it up. When Hee-ju tried to confess, he stopped her. Baek Sa-yeon told her to stay in the hospital room and rest while he handled the online rumors. News of someone from the presidential speech department falling off a cliff was spreading fast. Baek Sa-yeon's father used this to hold a press conference, turning it into a case of political persecution. In front of the media, he condemned the thugs as a father. Therefore, he could pull Baek Sa-yeon into his campaign and blame his opponent. But he underestimated Baek Sa-yeon. Baek Sa-yeon told the department to hide the victim's identity. Then he warned his father to stop, or he would fight back. Chairman Baek was furious and yelled at him, reminding him who gave him his identity. It turned out Baek Sa-yeon was also a replacement. As a child, he was forced to take on someone else's identity, but this was never what he wanted. Baek Sa-yeon softened his call. Noticing it was almost 10 o'clock, she used the thug's phone to call him. To her surprise, Baek Sa-yeon spoke flirtatiously. He guessed her age, asked if she was pretty, and even imagined her figure, teasing her the whole time. Hee-ju got very angry. Soon, Baek Sa-yeon's tone turned serious. He knew she wasn't with the thugs and begged her to team up with him to catch them. While looking for his wife, he had already decided to make the thugs pay for her pain 100 times over. Then he asked Hee-ju what clues she had. Baek Sa-yeon drew everyone's attention to himself, because Hee-ju had nowhere to hide except behind him. He revealed the cliff fall wasn't an accident, but a planned murder. He lied that he was the victim and had been threatened for 2 weeks, but it wasn't political persecution against the election. Using security footage and Hee-ju's description, he shared a suspect sketch. The suspect had one odd-colored eye, a strange smell, stuttered when excited, and anger issues. Baek Sa-yeon asked the police for protection and said there was more than one criminal. The thug, seeing his sketch, got furious. He messaged someone he called Teacher, complaining. He said the teacher pushed Hee-ju, but his face was made public. He asked why Hee-ju was targeted when Baek Sa-yeon was their goal. The teacher replied Hee-ju wouldn't divorce and wanted Baek Sa-yeon to feel the pain of losing someone precious. Then, he ordered the thug to retrieve the phone. After reading the news, Hee-ju was worried about Baek Sa-yeon. The thug texted her to hand over the phone and he'd arrive soon. Hearing the door open, she rushed to block it. She locked the door, but knocking continued. Hee-ju was scared until she heard Baek Sa-yeon's voice and came to her senses. She cried, hugged him, and then fainted. When Hee-ju woke up, Baek Sa-yeon gently asked what happened. She didn't answer, but asked if he was afraid. He climbed into bed, held her, and said he wasn't scared or regretful. He told her to rest well, but she couldn't sleep. Near 10 p.m., she left the room and used the thug's phone call, Baek Sa-yeon. She asked when he would catch her, and then arranged to meet. Though worried seeing her might hurt, now he didn't just want the phone back. He wanted everything Baek Sa-yeon had. To vent his anger, he sent funeral wreaths to Chairman Baek during an interview. The message read, "I know what Baek Sa-yeon did." Meanwhile, Hee-ju woke up. She went to Baek Sa-yeon's room but found him missing. The number she dialed was disconnected. She cried and woke up from the nightmare. Everything happening recently felt unreal to her. Nervously, she opened Baek Sa-eon's door. Luckily, he was still asleep. She carefully touched his cheek. When he opened his eyes, she panicked and tried to leave. Baek Sa-eon pulled her into his arms. It was his first day off in 3 years. He didn't want to leave her side and asked if she had a thug. To her surprise, Ji Sang-woo told her to answer the call. He already knew she could talk. Just then, Baek Sa-eon honked his car horn repeatedly. He found Ji Sang-woo suspicious and worried Heju was in danger. He sped up and blocked their car. Heju tried to get out, but Ji Sang-woo stopped her. To him, Baek Sa-eon's actions were also dangerous. Still, Heju got out of the car. Baek Sa-eon warned Ji Sang-woo to stay away from Heju. Ji Sang-woo asked what right he had to say that. Baek Sa-eon thought it was too much of a coincidence that he appeared at the same time as the threats, so he was very suspicious. He then asked Heju why she was there. Heju showed him the message from the thug. Baek Sa-eon asked why she didn't tell him and if she was scared. When she said yes, Baek Sa-eon felt helpless, thinking she was afraid of his true identity and couldn't accept his secret. Heju explained she was once scared her act as the thug would be exposed and thought about running away, a child into the water. Meanwhile, Heju felt uneasy as her husband hadn't come home. The doorbell rang. Ina arrived and showed her the paternity report. She told Heju that she didn't know everything about Baek Sa-eon, but Heju looked calm and didn't care. She finally understood what Baek Sa-eon had meant before. At this time, Baek Sa-eon reached the shop. The place was already on fire. His adoptive father was unconscious inside. He tried to save his father, but an explosion happened, and the fire spread quickly. Baek Sa-eon also lost consciousness. Ina didn't want Heju to be fooled anymore and urged her to leave. Heju said it was her choice. Ina was shocked, not by her words, but happy that Heju was finally speaking. Heju was also surprised to learn her sister never hated her. She then asked who sent the DNA test results. Ina didn't know either. She first met Baek Sa-eon when he was 15. Before that, she had never seen him. Heju realized why her in-laws were always cold to Baek Sa-eon. They had hidden their real son. Meanwhile, Baek Sa-eon was still in a coma. Heju was worried and wanted to call the police. When asked for the missing person's name, she didn't know how to answer and hung up. She went alone to the Baek family and told them about Baek Sa-eon's disappearance, asking her in-laws to file a report. Chairman Baek was surprised she could speak. Heju didn't explain and directly asked why they hid their real son until he was 15 and then replaced him with the perfect Baek Sa-eon. Chairman Baek angrily denied it. Mistress Baek didn't care. She said Heju, as a stand-in, had no right to ask. She also admitted Baek Sa-eon was a stand-in too. Heju didn't back down, saying Baek Sa-eon, even as a stand-in, was important to them. Just then, a man reported no police records related to Baek Sa-eon. Mistress Baek, seeing Heju wasn't leaving, finally agreed not to stand by and do nothing. As Heju was leaving, the man stopped her. He hinted through the thug's odd-colored eyes that the thug was Chairman Baek's real son. The man had watched Baek Sa-eon grow up. In this family, Baek Sa-eon never smiled freely. The man felt sorry for him and couldn't let it go. Heju felt heartbroken for her husband. She also felt guilty for almost teaming up with the thug against him. At that moment, Ji Sang-woo called and she hurried to the hospital. Baek Sa-eon had been in critical care for 2 hours. Ji Sang-woo had saved him from the fire. He had tracked down the fishing shop owner through the villa's property owner. When he asked about the missing orphans, the owner kicked him out. Ji Sang-woo found nothing and left disappointed, but on the way, he saw Baek Sa-eon speeding down the road. He felt suspicious and turned back. Just before the explosion, he saved both from the fire. Ji Sang-woo had many questions. He called Heju just because Baek Sa-eon's phone wouldn't stop ringing. Heju felt grateful but apologized, saying she had to keep something to stop her. Heju refused to leave. She wanted to protect him for once, but Baek Sa-eon firmly said as long as she stayed with him, he had the courage to fight the world. Elsewhere, Chairman Baek was putting on a show for the election. He was about to show off his cooking skills when he received a disgusting delivery, a box of stitched-up fish. Mistress Baek realized her son sent it and ran out to find him. She ended up at Mr. Baek's old house and finally saw her long-lost son. Meanwhile, the couple returned to the hospital. Heju asked how Baek Sa-eon found her. He explained that after she fell off the cliff, he installed a tracker on her phone. Heju wanted to track him too, but he refused. He told her if he ever disappeared, she shouldn't look for him because he would find her. They hugged and fell asleep together. Soon, the adoptive father woke up. He regretted being soft-hearted back then. When Mr. Baek handed over the boy, he wasn't actually dead. The boy lost his memory, his intelligence declined, and the adoptive father couldn't bear to kill him. But he underestimated and told him to come alone. The place was near the lake where Baek Sa-eon lived with his adoptive father. When he arrived, he saw a familiar black bag. Inside was the dying assistant. Bak Sayan asked him what he did to Heeju. The assistant told him the thug was nearby. Suddenly, a car engine roared behind him. The thug drove the car and toyed with Bak Sayan. At that moment, Heeju woke up and grabbed his hair, causing the car to crash into rocks. The couple hugged tightly, checking on each other, but the car came at them again. They dodged in time. Bak Sayan pulled him out of the car and angrily said he would pay him back for everything. The thug asked him to give Heeju to him too. Bak Sayan couldn't hold back his anger. The thug pulled out a weapon. At the last moment, the assistant stepped in and took the hit. Heeju had already called the police. The thug mocked them before escaping. The police arrived soon after. The assistant was also out of danger. The thug was furious. No one stood on his side. A year ago, he regained all his memories after seeing news of his grandfather's death. He regretted not killing his grandfather himself. Now, the only person who supported him was his mother. Even his father wanted him gone again and sent people to follow his mother to find him, but he still escaped successfully. Mistress Beck accused her husband of being heartless, forcing their son into hell. The husband argued that it was their son who turned their lives into hell. Mistress Beck angrily revealed a secret he couldn't accept. Neither the son nor the husband resembled Mr. Beck. The one who did was Bak Sayan. It turned out Bak Sayan was Mr. Beck's illegitimate son. The police found 4 human skeletons at the address given by Bak Sayan. Ji Sang-woo identified them as the missing children from the orphanage. The assistant was detained for investigation. The police found listening devices in his house and information about Bak Sayan. There was also another target. Bak Sayan screamed helplessly. The rescue team found the car 20 meters underwater, but the 2 people were missing. The reporters revealed Bak Sayan's wife had been kidnapped and fell into the river with the thug. They released a sketch of the thug and asked the public for help. Later, Bak Sayan held a press conference. He said he wasn't the real Bak Sayan. All his current identity didn't belong to him. The only real thing was that he was Heeju's husband. He shared Heeju's details with the public and asked for their help. Looking at his wife's photo, he was filled with guilt. 3 years into their marriage, Bak Sayan distanced himself from his wife to avoid developing feelings for her. Because of this, he missed many happy moments. By the time he decided to enjoy the love, it was too late. After Heeju went missing, her family rushed to the scene. For the first time, Bak Sayan saw worry on Heeju's mother's face. Looking around, he noticed that Mistress Beck wasn't there. The police checked the security footage from the memorial but couldn't find her. Bak Sayan grew suspicious and went to the Bak family garage that night to search. He got into Mistress Beck's car and saw that the dashcam footage was deleted. This made him more certain that Mistress Beck was involved. He called the police to request her detention. Just then, Mistress Beck appeared. Bak Sayan mocked her, saying she didn't even shed a tear for her missing son. Mistress Beck replied that after her son went missing 20 years ago, she always rushed to identify the body whenever it was found. Her tears had dried up long ago. Now she wanted Bak Sayan to feel the same pain of losing a loved one. The next day, Heeju's co-workers joined the search. The police told Bak Sayan there was little chance Heeju was alive. Bak Sayan refused to give up until he saw her body. Even worse, without solid evidence, Mistress Beck's detention request was denied. Bak Sayan remained determined and decided to present the evidence he had kept. Meanwhile, Chairman Beck held a meeting to control public opinion. Soon after, the police arrived with an arrest warrant for Mistress Beck, charging her with murder. On the other side, Heeju's mother repeatedly dialed her daughter's number, feeling guilty and regretful. She only wanted Heeju to marry a rich man to escape hardship, but never imagined Heeju would suffer so much, losing her smile forever. Ina felt the same pain. She found her father and scolded him for not doing something. Just then, Heeju's mother arrived with the news that Mistress Beck had been arrested. She was scared that Mistress Beck had killed Heeju. During the interrogation, Mistress Beck calmly said she didn't kill Heeju. She even threatened the officers, telling them to get ready to be fired. However, a video the officer played made her face change instantly. It showed her killing her father-in-law, Mr. Beck. Bak Sayan told her that the ring on Mr. Beck's finger had a camera, which recorded everything. He also already knew he was Mr. Beck's illegitimate child. To gather evidence and bring down the evil Beck family, he hadn't revealed these secrets. Mistress Beck was curious why Bak Sayan was sure she hadn't killed Heeju. Bak Sayan guessed she planned to hide Heeju for many years. Once he gave up looking, she would reveal that Heeju was still alive. This would make him live in pain for the rest of his life. Meanwhile, The police found a video on Mistress Beck's phone showing her locking up Hee-Joo. Hee-Joo also guessed Mistress Beck's plan and chose to starve herself to death, refusing to be used. In the next room, Mistress Beck's real son was also locked up. He knew his mom locked him again and angrily asked her to open the door. Mistress Beck was in pain, but this was the only way to protect her son. At the same time, the police were rushing to the place where Hee-Joo was trapped. It was the villa where Mr. Beck used to live. The butler sat in the dark, worried. He had followed Mistress Beck's order to move the two people from the car. Then, he staged the car's fall into the sea. Mistress Beck had given him a final order. If something happened to her, he had to protect her son and kill Hee-Joo. But the butler couldn't bring himself to harm Hee-Joo, so he told her to escape. Then, he locked the next room, planning to keep the killer locked up forever. Suddenly, Chairman Bake appeared with a gun. When Mistress Beck was arrested, she exchanged looks with the butler. He saw it. He told the butler to open the door, and decided to handle the killer himself. But in the end, he couldn't do it, and lost his gun instead. Meanwhile, Hee-Joo was running away but fell down a hill and fainted. A gunshot woke her up. The killer whistled as he slowly walked toward her. Hee-Joo saw a car speeding by and ran out to ask for help. The driver was Baek Sa-eon. The police arrived and started searching the area. They thought the killer would hide, but he stopped the car. Baek Sa-eon told Hee-Joo to stay in the car. He got out alone to face the killer. In the distance, sirens were getting closer. The killer didn't run but whispered something in Baek Sa-eon's ear. Baek Sa-eon's eyes turned red, and he started breathing heavily. He glanced back at Hee-Joo with mixed emotions in his eyes. The killer laughed loudly. Soon the police surrounded him. He raised his gun anyway. Baek Sa-eon fell in a pool of blood. The killer was shot dead on the spot. When Mistress Beck saw the news, she cried loudly. After being sentenced to life in prison, she appealed for the death penalty. Baek family's loyal butler, who confessed to his crimes, got 5 years in prison. In the hospital, Hee-Joo was in a coma. Baek Sa-eon had already woken up and stayed by her side. In her dream, Hee-Joo regretted not confessing her feelings earlier. She also fell for Baek Sa-eon since they were kids. If they had expressed their feelings sooner, they could have lived a happy life. But when Hee-Joo woke up, Baek Sa-eon was gone. He donated all Baek family's wealth and resigned from his job. Hee-Joo called him many times, but his number was disconnected. Still, she never stopped looking for him. From his assistant, she learned Baek Sa-eon had planned to end his life after taking revenge, but changed his mind because of her. From the subordinate, she heard he often asked how to express love to a wife. From her father, she found out Baek Sa-eon celebrated her father's birthday every year. Only then did Hee-Joo realize how much Baek Sa-eon had done in secret. Staring at the empty room, Hee-Joo missed him more than ever. In-ah saw her staying home all the time and advised her to go out for a walk. But Hee-Joo didn't want to leave, afraid of missing him. She still couldn't accept that he was gone. In-ah firmly said he wasn't coming back. Hee-Joo realized her sister knew something and asked nervously. In-ah didn't explain, but told her to forget him and live well. But for Hee-Joo, only with Baek Sa-eon could she be happy. In-ah felt both heartbroken and helpless. She had indeed received a message from Baek Sa-eon. That day, the killer told him it was Mr. Baek who caused the car accident. All of Hee-Joo's misfortunes since childhood were because of him. As his son, Baek Sa-eon felt his life was full of guilt. In-ah told him Hee-Joo already knew everything but still chose him without hesitation. He broke down even more. Shame made him unable to face Hee-Joo. At night, Hee-Joo got a call from an unknown number. The caller said nothing, but she was sure it was Baek Sa-eon. She checked the number's location. It was from Argon. Not long ago, she also got an email from Argon. Someone donated 2 billion won in Hee-Joo's name to build a sign language school there. She asked Baek Sa-eon's journalist friend for clues. He had worked with Baek Sa-eon as a war reporter in Argon. Since Argon was at war, the reporter was unwilling to talk. Hee-Joo begged him. Finally, he told her to look for a place with sunsets. In Argon, Baek Sa-eon often visited a sunset viewpoint. He took many photos there because the red sunset reminded him of Hee-Joo's cute cheeks. Hee-Joo went to the school and asked the principal about the viewpoint. The principal said rebels had taken over the area and warned her not to go. Hee-Joo didn't give up. On the way, rebels captured her. While being transported, the vehicle hit a landmine. When the rebels went to check, a man appeared and freed the captives. After letting everyone go, he held Hee-Joo's hand. She felt something but focused on escaping. The man turned into the jungle, turned off the lights, and stopped the car. When the rebels left, he untied Hee-Joo. She opened her eyes and saw Baek Sa-eon, the man she had missed so much. Baek Sa-eon scolded her for coming. Because of her, his plans had to change many times. Hee-ju couldn't hold back and asked why he disappeared. Baek Sayon said he failed to protect her. Because of his father, she lost many precious things. He wanted to punish himself until he could forgive himself. Hee-ju cried and said she should decide the punishment. Unable to hold back her feelings, she kissed him. Baek Sayon let go of his guilt and just enjoyed the moment with her. Hee-ju asked about the unknown number. Baek Sayon said he had a nightmare that day. He dreamed of Hee-ju crying a lot, so he called her. In truth, he just wanted to hear her voice, using worry as an excuse. The 2 billion won donated under Hee-ju's name was actually divorce penalty money. He didn't want to be her husband as Baek Sayon. He wanted to live a simple, happy life with her as Baek Yu-yeon. Hee-ju's mom was upset about her secret marriage, but she finally saw her daughter smile. She held Hee-ju's hand and said that as long as she was happy, that was all that mattered. Then, Ina sincerely apologized to her. She had been the cause and a bystander of Hee-ju's suffering over the years. She wanted to mend their relationship, starting with an apology. Hee-ju asked her sister to forget the past and be happy together. Baek Yu-yeon visited his adoptive father. He ate the fish he had refused to eat as a child and chose to let go of his hateful past. Later, Hee-ju returned to her TV job as a sign language interpreter. Baek Yu-yeon became a negotiation expert at the foreign ministry, with his assistant still by his side. Without secrets or hatred, Baek Yu-yeon and Hee-ju finally lived a calm and happy life as an ordinary couple.